Good evening, guys. It's Ashwin here. In the previous class, we discussed about modules, packages, and some of its aspects. And today, we will discuss about errors, exceptions, and its handling. Okay, if you want this presentation, go to this link, tiny.cc/SoAI-Python-week 5-1. If you have any questions, just ask. Don't hesitate. Okay, then let's start. Errors are bound to happen in your code, especially when someone else ends up using it in an unexpected way. We can use error handling to tackle those errors. In a large project, you will need to use these kind of error handling. There are three main forms of error handling. Three main terms for error handling: try, accept, and finally. Okay, let's open Collab Notebook. Okay, for this error handling, first we need to type try, and inside that some statements of code, just like print x and followed by accept. In that, what codes, what the type of the block of code that need to execute if this block of code which is inside that try is failed. Okay, it means error. When we execute, it will execute the block of code which is inside that accept, because there is no value in, there is no variable in x. I'll show you what happened if we just print the statement x. There is a name error because there is the value, there is no such value inside the variable x. Okay, that's why there is a name error. We can get the type of error by using exception. I will show you here. Okay, by try print x except exception as e print e. Here you can see we will get the message which is name x is not defined, which is the exception message inside this exception class. This exception is a class which those type of exception classes has an hierarchy. You can get those hierarchy in this doc, which is doc.python.org. In that website, you can check on the exceptions. Okay. In this hierarchy, you can see there is a base exception which will handle all type of exception. But normally, we will use this exception class. Inside that class, there is many type of exception like arithmetic expression, assertion error, attribute error, and buffer error, like so and so. Okay. Inside each of that class, there is a specific error which will indicate just like zero division error. As its name suggests, it will raise when you divide some value with 0. Okay, I will show you here. If you do 5 divided by 0, it will raise an error which is zero division error, which is inside that arithmetic error. We can catch that by this try and accept. Try a equals 5 divided by 0, except just copy paste it to here and print 0 division error. You can see here it just captures that specific error. If we have another error, like there will be no problem in 5 divided by 4, but if we try to print that X, which will give you a name error, which will not capture in this zero division error, then what will happen? Let us check. It will not capture that name error, but it will capture a zero division error. Okay. Now we can write a multiple exception for catching this type of errors. Okay, I will show you that. Here, I will show you here. Under this exception, I will type another except to capture name error exception and will print here name error. When I execute it, it will give you the name error. Okay. What it means, it just don't capture in this zero division error because there is no division by zero, but it will capture its name error, which is under the zero division error. Okay. Okay. If we want to specify to run a code block, if there is no errors occurs in the try block, we can use an else for this. Okay, I will show you that. Try print I except print arrow else. We can type else print no error. What it does is it just tries that print high statement or the code block inside that try. If there is no error, it will just execute the code block inside that else. Okay, it will give us high and no error. Okay, there is another term finally. The code block inside that finally will execute regardless if the try block executed successfully or not. I will show you. In try, print x except print error. Finally, execution finish. Here you can see The print x is fails due to the name error. It will capture in the exception, so the print error is executed. And after that, the finally will also executed. Even if the exception is not occurred, just like here, hi, the printing hi will not give any error. So the print hi will execute, and the finally code block inside that finally will also execute. Okay, I will show you. We'll get a hi and execution finished. Okay, now let's check what is the use of the finally. In an file management operation, you just need that finally for closing the file which is opened before that exception occurs. I'll show you. In the try, f equals open a file. Okay, some test.txt. Okay, f dot write test. Print something went wrong. Finally, f dot close. Here you can see I just opened a file which is known as test.txt. Okay, and I tried to write the test string inside that text.txt. If something happens in the opening or the writing in that file, it will just print something went wrong. But after that, the opened file should close. That's why we use the finally. Okay, here you can see the file is not open because it just had the error in the f equals open the text.txt. So f is not created. That's why we have the name error in this finally. Okay, just ignore it. Those kind of situations where we need to use this finally. Okay, I'll try to make that file a right file. Now it's just executed. There is a problem when I open that file. Does not indicate that the use of that file. Now I just indicate that it is used for writing. Okay, then there will be no problem. Okay, there is no problem. It seems perfect. Okay, now how to create your own exception error class. Okay, I'll show you that. First, you just need to create a class for my error, which should inherit the base class, which is exception. You can see in this document, the base class is exception. We normally use this exception base class for creating our own error. Okay, we can also use this base exception class, but normally we just inherit this class. Okay, I'll show you how to create the next new error. You just need to pass this class because there is the need is you just need to create a class. You can use that class in any situation. Okay, just run that class, no problem. You just you want to, if you want to use that error, you just try and a equals 5, b equals 2. If a divided by 2, b equals 1 divided by 2. We can raise this error by the use of the keyword raise. Okay, we can raise my error. The exception, we just okay. There should not be any error because the 5 divided by 2 is not 3. What happens if we change the a into 6? So 6 divided by 2 should be 3, and it should raise my error exception, my error. Okay, so the error, my error, should capture in that exception, which should print that error string. Worked correctly. Okay, if you want to see what happened, you just print exception. Let's check what happens. Okay, yeah, what happens here is the error which does not have a message inside it. So it does not have any impact on that uh, exception. Okay, let's do another thing. Okay, we will create a class, an even error class and an odd error class, and we will check whether it's raised when the element is even and odd. Okay, let's try that. Okay, when c is divided by 2 is gives us a remainder of 0, which means it's even, else it should raise odd. Okay, okay, now okay, it will capture the even error. Oh, just spelling mistake, or it is even. Sorry, no. Okay, here you can see in this a is an even number. Okay, so in this first if condition, which checks a is an ES even or odd. Okay, if a is even, the if a percentage 2 equals 0, so it's raised even error. Okay, else it raised odd error. Okay. Oh, now just put an odd number. It gives the odd error, but we does not accept that odd error here. Now just accept that error also. Accept error, print this. Here you can see we will also capture that odd error. Just like this, you can create your own error, and you can capture those errors. You can also raise any type of error. You can raise that even error from here. Raise even error. If you raise that even error, it will give that even error. Okay. Okay, what just we studied here? We just looked at how the primary or the simple try exception works, and we just check the working of the multiple exception, and we just try we just studied how the else works and the keyword finally works. Okay, here, and we just learned how to create a custom error. Okay, and we learned how to raise an error by the keyword raise. Okay. Now, this is a small class, and this is a small subject, so that's it. If you have any questions, you can just ask me. Okay. Thank you, guys. So the class is over. I would like to wind up the class.